Now then, and welcome back to another episode of Reborn on the NemGo server. Welcome back. Now, as you can see, I've got a parrot. Yes, it was over here that we had parrots and pets and all sorts around here. Do you remember this bit? We had, well, Ego did this in live streams. He set it all up down here that we had a blaze spawner and an enderman spawner all set up in farming situations. He spent quite a while setting all this up, and I've just been making a little bit of use of it to get myself some more blaze rods because I've been doing a lot with ender chests recently and I ran out. I probably need to get some more ender pearls as well while I'm here, so we'll give that a quick go. But this setup is very manual, very manual. There's not a lot to say about it other than I come down here when I need some stuff, and then I light it all up and I go home when I don't. That's basically all I have to do, and then I can just do /home and get back. Whoa, waiting for the server to catch up with me. There we go. Get back, and I don't know that my parrot has followed me. He has. Excellent. I didn't know if that was going to work or not. Excellent. Okay, so there's one parrot removed from the mob farm and brought over here. Okay, well, let's throw this stuff into the system. We've had a good few days of just organising bits and pieces, just setting up things like this, just to run off the power supply that I've now got from the charcoal, just making sure that I keep all of these materials topped up, and a place to just dump them away when I need to. And on this side, I've got this little setup where I just take this away and hang it up when I'm not here, so that I don't have my AE system connected to the power supply when I'm not actually using it. And then, of course, I'm keeping everything I can inside my AE system, which is becoming a bit trashy. I'm just kind of like throwing everything in it, and I've packed everything away and put everything in it. Today, though, as you can see in here, most of this is packed away and put away. This is going to be where the AE controller is, and all the channels that come out of it are going to be from there. That was the plan, wasn't it? So I do need to set that AE system up a little bit better, but over the course of time. You've seen most of it done in the previous Stone Block series, including what I'm going to cover today. So a few of you may be able to notice a few things that I'm doing that I've done before. Many of you probably already know everything there is to know about all the magic mods and how to set them all up. But today I'm going to do an episode on how to start all the magic mods, how to start them off, how to make them run, and how to be better at them. I know mobs don't spawn in here because I've got a mega torch around, but it's just annoying that these little areas aren't lit properly, which I'm going to have to fix. And I've been having struggling problems with the ender chest not staying full of charcoal. But then I realised over at the mob farm, when I went over there, that there's a chunk loaded with an endo flame eating up charcoal in order to make mana. And it does not stop eating the charcoal even when there's no mana. Or even when it's full of mana. You just gave me that. Get off. Can you get off me? Can I get the parrot off me shoulder now? Okay, well, I've got a parrot. I'm happy with the parrot. The parrot's with me throughout this exercise. Now, there are 4 magic mods. We're going to be doing blood magic over this side, which is fairly complicated, probably needs to go to the mob farm to sort out. We're going to do Thorncraft, which is going to be over this side. Thorncraft, and there's also going to be some other stuff related to Thorncraft and applied energistics we're going to do. We've got Botania, which is going to be in that section, and we've got some Astral Sorcery, which is over in this section. Now, I've never done Astral Sorcery. Blood magic has changed an awful lot, and Thorncraft I've just recently done in the Stone Block series. So I'm going to start with Britannia today. There's another reason I want to start Britannia, and that is because a lot of my stuff that I'm carrying is already made from botanical stuff and mana and stuff, and I need to have a way of recharging it over here and sorting things out. There's also a lot of things that I can do with mana and the flowers and the like to help maintain this little room, which I've also set up. This is now the dye factory. We've got all of the sheep in the area being built up or set up. All I need to do is put shears into an ender chest, which I haven't yet made, and all of the farming will be done, and all 16 types of wool will be created, and so on. And then I've got the carpet stored above that. We've got all the dye types stored there, and then any excess wool that doesn't go into these, instead of voiding them off, will travel the longer route into the pulverizer, be pulverized down into string, and also industrial, what were they called again? Industrial pigments, that's it. So I've got all the industrial pigments there as well. So basically got a dye factory here, just from the sheep farms. I do need to add in an ender chest that sends some shears down so that when I want to start it up I can. At the minute though I've got a fair amount of wool, so I'm not too worried about expending ticks on the server in shearing sheep all the time, because we're okay. And we're also dealing with the botanical stuff as well. So what I'd really like to do is get to the point where I can make a jaded amaranthus to make flowers that can make infinite petals, that can make infinite dyes from Botania. But first off, we've got to start out with Botania. What are we going to do first? Well, to start with in Botania, there is the botanical stuff that you can pick up around. The Lexica Botania, and bottles of mana, and mana steel ingots, and overgrowth seeds, and black lotuses. All of the flowers exist in the world and in the wild that you can pick up. There's the 2 tall ones, which you can use shears on to get the 2 tall variety. And they all break down into petals. So all of those things are stuff that you can just find in the world in random loot chests, basically. Lots of random loot chests. The living rock, I think I've got that from Ego making it earlier. But yeah, the Lexica Botania is where it all begins, and I think, well, you look at this, the 360th edition. Apparently, you must craft the tiny potato. Yes, that's what it says on there. A book by Vazkey. Okay. Now, I remember doing 8th edition Botania. That was a long, long time ago. And I asked the question, what is this all leading up to? And eventually I found out there was quite a lot of boss fights and big armors and also awesome things. Right, so there's a lot of reading to be done. Now, I'm not going to read it all for you. There's a lot of reading to be done to start off with, and the mod author loves it all like that. Okay, and then we go on to Welcome to Britannia. Carry on by pressing the back button. Back button? That button. There we go. Right, so now, whilst one could go through the various entries in the book at their leisure, there are also tutorials of sorts available. Clicking the buttons below will guide you through the basic concepts of Botania. You can pick between the in-game guide tour of this book or the shortest video. Now, I'm going to go with the in-game guide because it's been a while since I've done it. And I'm glad to see that there is an in-game guide now, because before there used to just be literally a list of things that you could make, and you can make almost everything. So to start with, the basics and mechanics. Welcome to Britannia. We've just done that. Awesome. Tutorials of the basics. We've just sorted that. Okay. Lexica Britannia is the repository of all knowledge in botanical matters. Yes? Excellent. And we can see how we're supposed to do that. Mystical flowers. They're all around the world. We can see how to do that. We can also use this floral fertilizer to make mystical flowers, but we're okay. We don't need that. The next thing down here then is the Petal Apothecary. The first thing on our list here is Petal Apothecary, followed by Pure Daisy, Runic Altar, and Wander the Forest. The other bits and pieces we don't have to worry about so much. The Wander the Forest, we are going to require some living wood twigs, which we require the Pure Daisy for. And the Pure Daisy, I believe, we need to set up in a Runic Altar. So we've got a few bits and pieces to do first with the Petal Apothecary. So, very simply put, this is one of the most fundamental pieces of Botania that we're ever going to encounter. We need to give it some water and mystical petals, and it will generate a seed based on whatever it is the recipe is that we're seeking out. Functional flora and generational flora are all created within the Petal Apothecary. So, instead of water, one can place lava in this block. This is also done to incinerate items that it comes in contact with. But it also serves as a nice light source as well, pretty. Furthermore, toss in vines and it gives the block an unusual visual glow. Comparatives can detect whether the block has water in it, and the dropped water buckets from dispensers can fill the system as well, which means we can make a little automation sorted out for it as well. The simplest thing, though, is to get a white petal, or any mushroom, it seems, or any mushroom or any petal, it seems, and a bit of cobblestone slabbage to be able to make a Petal Apothecary. So, I've got a spare couple of mushrooms, so I'll use a black mushroom, and I'll just quickly head back to the AE system, and we'll set up an apothecary. This one. Like so. There we go. Oh, we do need some slabs. Okay, let's take these back in, put them away, make a couple of slabs, and then this one. Okay, so there's more than one variety of Petal Apothecary. There are Forest Petal Apothecaries, which is one of those with metamorphic forest stone around, makes it look nicer. The Plains, the Mountain, the Fungal, the Swamp, the Desert, the Taiga, the Mesa, and yeah, that's about it. So all of these require a different block that goes around the Petal Apothecary and makes it look cool. There's also vines. I don't think I've got any vines on me. Nope. But you can add vines to make it look better as well. We need a magical water source. At the minute, we have a sink. That's the magical water source that we have at the minute. A sink without any need for anything at all. We can then put a bucket on it. Right, and I also need some seeds, which will take a stack of seeds from over here as well. Awesome. So we've got all that. A simple startup for Botania, and away we go. So it's all going to be manual to start with, but I would like to automate all these systems during the series, one stage or another. So out here in the Britannia area, I'm just going to make a rough start, because why not? We're going to have the sink there and grab buckets of water and fill them up. Simple as that. That's all we're going to do to start with to get our Petal Apothecary going. We're going to have plenty of seeds and all that kind of stuff as well, and we're going to have all these petals and flowers and stuff. So the first flower that we want to make is going to be the Pure Daisy. The Pure Daisy requires 4 mystical white petals or mushrooms in the Petal Apothecary. Nice and simple. Let's start with that. Don't have many mushrooms, so I don't want to use the mushrooms up. And I don't have anything in there. So we'll go with the first few here. We want 1, 2, 3, 4. I probably want a second one of those. So let's get a couple of these flowers, break them down into petals. They get 4 each, so that's 2 each. There we go. And 2 of those. Right. There is also something about being able to use the Petal Apothecary to... not the Runic Altar, the Petal Apothecary to automatically use the same items again, right? So, we shift right-click the Petal Apothecary with an empty hand, we'll remove the last item thrown in, right? And then, furthermore, toss in vines in, no, that's a different thing. Water buckets, yes, that's it. And simple tip for those who want to squeeze the biggest efficiency out of the block, up to 20 seconds after crafting a flower, right-clicking the apothecary with an empty hand will pull another set of the same ingredients out of your inventory and put them into the apothecary for quick mass crafting. This only works if the apothecary's water is refilled. So we got up to 20 seconds after doing the first one. We can tap it again and put the next one in. So right-click or drop 1, 2, 3, 4 of those in, followed by a seed. There we go. Now we've got a Pure Daisy. Epic. Right, put that in there, and right-click with an empty hand, and we do the same thing again, and then add the seeds. And we get another Pure Daisy. Excellent. That's all there is to it for making Pure Daisies. Now the Pure Daisies themselves... Hey, stay there. Stay right there. There we go. The Pure Daisies themselves, they are based on utilising wood and stone. So we're going to get some stone here. Let's get... stack of stone. I'm going to get a couple of Pure Daisy bits of dirt to use, and I also want a load of wood, so we'll take a stack of jungle wood. These will work nicely over the course of setting up living wood and living rock. That's basically what the Pure Daisy is for. There's 2 types of things, and there's 2 daisies to do it with. So we're going to set up a little setup over here. We're going to have a Pure Daisy in the middle of that, and we're going to set up with stone around 1, and this is very simple. The Pure Daisy will affect all of the stone around it when I set it up to the next height, And we'll put one here with wood around it, with jungle wood in this case, because why not, right? There we go. And then that's not going to do anything, but that's the setup that I want for the system. And then I get a builder's wand, and I can quite easily add a layer onto that, and add a layer onto that, and activate. You see all the twinkles? That's activating the setup now. So we give that a few minutes, and those will change into living rock and living wood. So let's have a look at the next thing on the botanical list for now. The Runic Altar. Now the Runic Altar requires some mana in order to create a mana pearl or a mana diamond. So we're not going to be able to do that just yet. We're going to need to start by making some kind of wand, some kind of mana pool and the like. So the first things first with that, the wand can be made using the twigs and some petals. So the wood that I created now from the white daisy, I can make the twigs from, and then put some petals on. That makes us a wand, yeah. And the stone that we're going to be using will be to create a mana pool. The mana pool is made out of this living rock over here, right? And mana flowers draw into the pools and so on. But also those big petal things that we got. So these living wood this way round will go into the mana pool. I think I need a recipe for something or other over here, just so that I've got it available. Just a little crafting table. So now I've got this, smack all these down, beat them all up. If I had a vein miner, that would also work nicely. And then the same over here on the living wood. Get it all back. And this doesn't require any mana or anything at all, so I can just go and keep repeating this process and keep placing those around and keep doing that. But now we can do a mana pool with this. There we go. And this is a cool mana pool. We go and put it there. Now I should be able, if I remember correctly, I should be able to drop in a lotus, because we've had lots of lotus before. Don't know if I can put mana from a mana bottle in there. I don't think I can. That's kind of something I can drink. Can I put that in there? No. I don't want to drink it. Nope. Put that in there. Does that then transform? Oh, nope. Okay. Okay, so it's now the case that if I don't have any mana in there already, then it won't generate mana from it. Okay, so I've got to create something that generates mana first. And that's not a problem. Let's do this, make 3 sticks. 3 sticks. That was that. Okay. And grab all that in a second, but let's go and get myself some more petals. So what petals do I have the most of at the minute? I've got loads of cyan petals, because we were making loads and loads of cyan before. But I do want a purple. I wish I had a purple. Now, there's a purple flower. I want purple because purple is my character colour. Purple is my main colour in YouTube. So this is going to be the purple wand, so people know it's mine. A magenta and a purple makes us a Wand of the Frost in bind mode. Excellent. So now we've got the Wand of the Frost sorted. Right. Just quickly get all this again and run this through once more, because I'm going to need some more of this very soon. We next need to make a generating flower. It's going to be generating mana into this mana pool so that I can use that elsewhere. All of this area will get reset and redone and removed around after we've done all the basics, but the basics are as the basics should be. We need to figure out what generating flora we're going to do, and in this tab here we've got a generating flora. Now the easiest one for me is the Endoflame, because all of the other ones require a little bit more effort, to be fair. A little bit more effort. The Endoflame is a very rudimentary generating flora, and we're going to be using our charcoal that we're making to generate mana from there, with an open crate and other natural apparatus, which is all very good. So I'll do that a bit later on. We'll generate something automated, a system like the one that Ego's got over the other place. But for first off, let's use some hydrangeas just to start off with. Hydrangeas. Hydrangeas that are hydro, water hydrangeas. They suck up still water in a 3x3 area around it at the same height of mana. And they produce, they also seem to function faster in rain. Nice. They decay after 1 hour in the real world, though. So that is the problem, that they decay after 1 hour. But that will get us started. 2 mystical blue, 2 mystical cyan, and we then put a seed in, and we get to make them very quickly. 2 mystical blue, 2 mystical cyan, 2 mystical blue. We'll make a few of these. So let's make 6, 8, and 2 mystical cyan over here. Don't have a lot of those. Do have a lot of flowers though. So we'll have 4 of those and turn them into mystical petals, and then that in there. Perfect. Okay, so the Petal Apothecary once again serves its purpose. As we chuck all this in, we get 2 of those, 2 of those, and 1 of those. There we go. Now I can throw that in off my inventory and just put that in there, and then just shift with an empty click, empty hand, and throw that in there. There we go. And then do that again. And then one more time, just because, why not? And then we've got 4 Hydrangeas. And those 4 Hydrangeas are going to be set up around a bit of water. Now, if I use the living wood, I will not regret that. That's a pretty good idea. I like living wood. So we'll have 2 sets of those. And we're also going to need some more dirt, which I don't have over here. So let's go and fetch it from the home. We'll have 4 of those because that works. And we'll set it up just the same as it says in the book, basically. So we'll go up like this. We'll get rid of that. Put that there. Stick that next to it. Okay, so this is where the Hydrangeas are going to go. So inside this area, we need to have a water source. So it's inside the area. I'm going to have the water source. So I can build this up. And then have these to separate the flowers and keep the water inside. And then we can just put water directly in, and it should generate its own infinite water sources. So the idea is that the Hydrangea will take the source of water from it, the water source, right? It'll take it and convert it into mana, which will then get put into there, right? So we need to make sure that we're going to have infinite sources. So this source block here and the source block next to it that's going to be there, this source block here, are going to generate this source block over and over again. And in the same way, every single one of these should now start generating their own, right? So we can then have a flower in each corner that's going to take the water from each corner with an infinite source and keep power in mana. For 1 hour, it's going to get that sorted. Now, the Hydrangeas aren't too difficult to make. So if I need a burst of power, then maybe I would use the Hydrangeas and just quickly do that because it's free power. It's a free power supply. But first, we need to transfer the power from where the plants will create it and beam it into here. The second thing on our mana production or mana manipulation is the Manor Spreader, an important component in manipulating your mana. This block allows mana to travel from point A to point B. Okay, I need a Wand of the Forest in order to make it move to where it wants to go, and I can beam mana around to the mana pool. Okay, so it should be fairly simple. Now, there's other things that we can add into that, but for right now, we just need a set of wood with a gold ingot and a petal. So we've got the petal, we've got the gold ingot, and we've got the living wood around the outside, like so. Gives us a standard mana spreader. There's plenty of other things we can do with mana spreaders a bit later on as well, but for right now, that is all we need. So now if we put this, shift right click, and then right click on here, it should, there we go, shift right click should now point towards it and beam anything it gets into that mana pool. So now when we place this, it should now show us that that is connected to that mana pool, that mana spreader, which will then connect to that mana pool. Okay, this one, we'll see it, this one is connected. It can show your binding boxes, so we know that's connected as well. This one, we can see that that's connected over there. and this one, we checked that one's connected over there. So they're all connected to the right mana spreader. And then we can see that it's getting mana from those flowers as fast as you like. It's slowly building up the little bar. And then it'll fire it into here, where we can see the mana slowly but surely maturing. And then I'll throw that in there, and it becomes a buttload of mana. That's basically what they are. You just throw it in, get a load of more mana off it. So this will last me 1 hour in-game. And then I'm going to make some more of these Hydrangeas before we can continue. There are other flowers that generate flora in just the same way. If we take a look at this generating flora, all the way through, some of them are much better than others at generating things, like the Sunshine Lily. It's another one, it's got a decay, but it does it from sunlight. The Thermal Lily does it from lava, and then it cools down after 5 minutes. I don't think it decays though, which is nice. And then there's a few others like Gourmarillis, which does food. Moonlight, which does the nighttime. Munch Dew takes on living materials like tree leaves and saplings, or no saplings or any other items will be dropped from the leaves. It takes the leaves off trees and other bits and pieces. Right? It's Stoneseer. Can convert stone, cobblestone or ores into mana. Rarer ores produce more mana. Living rock pedestal nearby with a natural orb can increase the mana generation efficiency. So you can put stone and cobblestone down and it will convert it into mana. That's fairly fun as well, the Stoneseer. So in order to get the next stage, the Runic Altar, we just drop a diamond into a mana pool, and it's showing us a tick here. Possibly because we've used the Black Lotus, we've had a little bit of a burst of mana produced here. Instead of having to wait a while for those Hydrangeas, we can just throw it in, and we receive this mana diamond back. And that, of course, will allow us to then create a Runic Altar, like so. There we go. And we're also going to need another spreader while we're at it to spread mana to this Runic Altar. So we go like this, right? So we'll put this way around, I guess. Yeah, let's go this way around. So we'll have that here, and we'll put this there. So now this mana spreader should be connected to this mana pool. It's already filled up from this mana pool, and it's then beaming at the Runic Altar. So it's full, but we don't require anything in the Runic Altar right now, so therefore it's all staying in the mana spreader ready for the first recipe. And those recipes we'll get to in the next episode. Thank you all very, very much for watching another episode of NemGo Reborn. And today we did a lot of starting out in Botania. We'll be doing other videos on the starting out of the other magic mods just as soon as I get my head around those as well. And we will be doing lots of automation of these kind of things in the future episodes. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out the links in the description. I will see you in the next episode. Thank you and goodbye.